Okay, so hello everyone. Today we're going to make an unboxing video. Inside this package is supposed to be a clamp meter from Mestek, model CM87 Pro. I paid for 2,050 pesos for this. That's roughly about $35. Now I have my concerns because it seems that this package has been tampered with, but let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, that's good news. I was a bit concerned because you see, this is not a good seal. See, this really is not a good seal. People can just open this up and take what's inside. And I'm sorry about my dog, hold on. So anyway, good news, that is not the case. I was really a bit apprehensive. Let's take a look at what's everything inside. That seems to be about it. Manual, you have a screwdriver, temperature sensor, and test probes. So that's good. See, model CM87 Pro. Okay, let's see if they provided us with a battery, and they did not. So the reason why I bought this is because my trusty Unity. Okay, I've had this for years. Actually, this serves me well. If you remember, if you've been following me 3 years ago, my house was a victim of a flash flood, and this was among it. I managed to be able to fix it and restore it, and until recently it already gave out. So I had to buy a new clamp meter. So I was thinking of buying something like this because this has proven itself over the years, but I figured might as well try something new, okay, which is this one. This only goes to maybe 600, 200 amperes AC/DC. This is 1000 amps, okay, so much more higher ampere coverage than this, but this is much more expensive. Okay, by the way, I'm not advertising for either. Okay, bought this with my own money because if you ask me, if you really are into DIY, or maybe if you are a professional, then even DIY, okay, a diagnostic tool like this is a must. Okay, let me put some battery inside it. Okay, so two AAA batteries. Actually, it already beeped, turned on. It's nice that they provided us with a screwdriver. Okay, so you look at that. The display is colored. That's nice. This display is not colored. This, however, is. Okay. So the reason why I opted for this model because it covers a whole range of diagnosis. Okay, similar to my previous clamp meter. You'd be able to check amperes, voltage, uh, capacitance, resistance, continuity, okay, temperature, NCV, okay. So for instance, if you want to check the ampere of how much ampere this fan draws, it says here rated current 0.88 amps. Now, this is AC. In order to check for AC, you need to have a split connection, okay, because you only want to have one wire to check it. Okay, so let's plug the fan in. Hold on. Okay, so let's check. Like I've said, only one wire, 0.0. Let me turn on the fan to speed 1. So it's now reading 0.40, 0.50 amps. Okay, let me turn it to speed 2. It should go higher as we increase the speed, and it did. 0.64, 65, 0.63. Let me turn it to speed 3 and it should go higher, and it did. See, 0.81 amperes. And again, speed 4, which is top speed, and you see it went up to 0.87, 0.86 amperes, which is right around, see, 0.88 amperes. So that's good. So that's how you check the ampere draw of your appliance when it comes to AC, okay? Now DC is also the same, just provided only check one wire, okay? Cannot express that enough, only do so for one wire, either AC or DC, okay? Another neat feature about this is what is called as NCV. You see that? Come on, focus, NCV. This one also has that feature, and I'll show you, okay? This stands for non-contact voltage, and it should beep. See? Meaning this wire is live. See? See? Even through the wall, it's able to detect that voltage. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I do believe NCV only works on AC. Okay, see? That means the wire is live. But let's check. See? It does not work on DC, only on AC. So this is a neat feature. You just have to point it like so. You'll be able to tell if the wire is live, okay? Even through the wall. By the way, before I forget, okay, say for example you have it on amperes. Say for example you need to select either AC or DC. Similarly on voltage, also select DC or AC and select, it says there hertz. You can also select to check for hertz. Okay, see? Let me show you. So let me connect the probes. Red for input, black for common. Okay, now we have it on AC. We can remove this. Now, if you do this, be mindful not to touch this, okay? But if you're only going to hold it here, otherwise it's perfectly safe. I'll show you. See, 244 volts, 60 hertz. So very nice. Should you want to check for DC voltage, select DC. Okay, so in DC there's no such thing as hertz, only AC, okay? See? No hertz. Let's check. 12.7 volts, that's actually very good. Now if you want to test polarity, just reverse the probe. 12.7 volts, negative. Okay? See? There's no negative sign. 12.7 polarity, you should see a negative sign. See that? So one other neat feature about this thing, which my previous clamp meter does not have, is this auto voltage, LOZ. I don't actually know what that means, but this allows you to check for voltage without actually having to select either AC or DC. It's going to do so automatically. I'll show you. Hold on. So test probe here, one there. Hold on. Okay, let me do that again. One probe here, one probe there. See, it checks for voltage automatically. 245 volts, 59.9, 60 hertz. Okay, Let's move towards DC. 12.7 volts, polarity 12.7 volts. Okay, so it's a neat feature, especially if you're not sure if it's AC or DC. Put it here. Okay, see that? So if we place it here, we have resistance, continuity. This is capacitance, and this is for diode check. Okay, I have several videos as to how to use that feature in one of my many videos. I'll post a link of that at the end of this video, okay, as to how to use this feature. So right now we have resistance select, continuity select, okay, this diode select, and this for capacitance. Okay, so continuity, should we do that, it should be, see, say for example, if you want this a wire, you put one probe here and one probe on the other. That should tell you that the wire is continuous, see, and it should be. But anyway, like I've said, videos at the end of this video as to how to actually use this feature. Now you have here hertz separate apart from this. Similarly, just says hertz and the percentage. Let's see that. Okay, so let's check. Again, be careful. And you see 59.9 hertz, 49%. Okay, so one other neat feature about this is you can check temperature. In order for us to do that, let's remove the test probes and replace it with this. Okay, black, common, red, all the way in. And so right now the ambient temperature is 39 degrees Celsius. See my finger, 36 degrees Celsius. Very neat, very nice. This also has that feature, okay? See that? Now it's very good for checking temperature. Say for example you're checking the AC or a refrigerator, whatever. Just check the temperature. This is a very neat feature to have, okay? Okay, so what else? By the way, they also provide you with a hold button here and a flashlight, okay? Press that long enough, hold on, you believe it needs to be turned on, press that long enough and the light turns on. Okay, another thing is you can place one probe here, okay, that way you can hold something like that, I do believe so. Okay, and another neat feature about this is, let me show you on tinkering. See, NCV, non-contact voltage. Let's select, it goes to see live. Let's just use only one probe, okay? And the neat thing about this is, I'll show you. You see this outlet, it's got two holes. Now if you want to know which of these is the live one or the neutral line, okay, the live line and the neutral line, you place it on NCV and select live, okay? So place it here, nothing. So that means this is the neutral line and it should beep here, and it does, see? So that means you know that this is the live wire. Okay, let's check here, same, and this is neutral. So that's a very, very neat feature to have. Especially so if you're checking junction box like this and you want to know which among the wires inside there is the live wire and which is the neutral. So anyway, I do believe that's it. That's all that there is to show. I'm actually quite happy, satisfied, and even I would say impressed with this one. I'm actually quite glad that I opted to buy this instead of this. Although I'm not bad-mouthing this product, okay? This has served me well. This is actually very nice, very robust, very sturdy, okay? This has fallen quite a few times and it has held up well. Unfortunately, it came at the end of its life. That's why I have to buy a new one. But like I've said, it was either this one or this one, so I opted to try something new. And let's see if this is going to last. But this is actually, like I've said, very nice. So the only say bad thing that I would say about this is that I would have preferred to be a much more smaller or compact size. But I do believe the plus size is you'd be able to check a much more better, bigger wire. See this one. So that's why it came much bigger than this one. And also the bag that this thing came with, okay? It opens at the top. I'm actually not a big fan of this design. Unlike this, you see, it opens all the way. You can place your multimeter here, or clamp meter, and your probes here. See, allows you to have full access. This one, not so, okay? But anyway, now before I end this video, I would just like to inform everyone I'm not advertising for this product, okay? Nor am I associated or affiliated with Mestek or any sellers online that sells this item. I bought this with my own money and for my own benefit. Like I've said, if you're a professional or even a DIYer, this is a must tool to have in order for you to have a proper diagnosis. So, for the other features as to how to use this thing, just watch any of these videos, okay? I'm sorry for the very long hiatus. I'll try to upload more videos soon, okay? And again, I'm sorry, but thank you for watching.